I'm going to motivate you. I'm going to say some things to you that will have an impact, and you will, in fact, not be the same when you wake up from your seats. I'd like to start by telling you a story of a West Texas Ranger who had a coming out party for his daughter. Now, I'm talking about this really rich Texas. I mean, he had thousands in tracts of land, tens of thousands of head of cattle, a big house and an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Now, the salespeople call this group prospecting. I mean, he wanted to have a look of all the fine young men in West Texas, and they came from 100 miles away. And they had a marvelous time, and not about midnight, he invited them to his Olympic-sized swimming pool. Now, he had there stacked sea moccasins and alligators, or if you wish, crocodiles. And he said to them, the first of you young man to jump into this pool and swim the length of it, I'll give you 5,000 acres of my best land. He said, and if you don't want that, I'll give you $1 million in cash. He said, and if you don't want that, I'll give you the hand of my beautiful daughter in marriage. Now, I guess it's pretty obvious I do not have to tell you this, but she's our only heir. And whoever that will get her will eventually get all of this. No sooner had those words left his mother, there was a loud splash that went into that pool, followed by an almost immediate emergence of a dripping young man on the other side. I mean, he had set a world record that would never even be approached. And so the West Texas was all excited, and he ran down there, and he said, young man, that was absolutely fantastic. So tell me, do you want the 5,000 acres of my best land? He said, no, sir. Do you want the $1 million in cash? He said, no, sir. He said, then son, I've got to assume that you want the hand of my beautiful daughter in marriage. He said, no, sir. He said, then son, for crying out loud, what do you want? He said, I want to know the name of that dude that pushed me into the swimming pool. Now, that is just to tell you what motivation is all about. Motivation is just that extra push you get into doing what you would otherwise not do. And you know, from time to time, planes around this place, planes fly above us. But do you know that it is dangerous for a plane to be flying in the sky? Because if that plane crashed, chances are there will be no survivors. You read in newspapers where the ship leaves the harbor and it sinks in the high seas. I mean, it's dangerous for a ship to be sailing in the high seas. You hear stories of people that rent their houses to tenants, and the tenants, destroy it, they burn it, they tear it up. It's dangerous to have somebody living in your own house. But you see, the engineers tell me that it is more dangerous for that plane to stay on the ground. That it will rust more faster than it will wear out while flying in the high heavens. They tell me that it is more dangerous for that ship to stay in the harbor. That it will collect more barnacles more faster than it would while sailing in the high seas. They tell me that it is more dangerous for that house to stay with no one living in it, because it will deteriorate more faster than if we had someone living in it. Besides, planes were built for flying, houses were built for living, ships were built for sailing, and man too was built for a purpose. He is designed for accomplishment. He is engineered for success. He is endowed with the seeds of greatness. And the greatest danger that we have as human beings is if we sit and do nothing at all. Amen. Are you with me? Yes. I came across a beautiful book. It's called Why A Students Work for C Students and B Students Work for the Government. How many have read that book? Why A students work for C students and B students work for the government. And in this book they are trying to explain how C students think. Because if you got into a class, the first row is usually for A students. I mean, that's somebody that's so busy. It's him, the lecturer, and the board. Nothing else. When you move back, you find the B student. And then at the far end, you find the C student. Now that's somebody who can sit at the front because he don't like surprises. He doesn't like being surprised. When the teacher is teaching and then all of a sudden they don't like that. So they sit at the back. And you know why? Because they want to have a bigger picture of the classroom. You understand? They want to have a bigger picture of the classroom. And that's the guy, you find him sitting next to the window. He wants to have a bigger picture of the classroom and the bigger picture of the outside. And that's the guy, if you're a new student, that's the person that will welcome you. You know, they'll go get you, you know, there's an empty desk here, you can sit here. And then after some time, you know, they will come to you and ask, so was it an expulsion or you just transferred? You know, those are the kind of guys. And when it comes to going for things, those guys go for things, you know. I mean, they are go-getters. A student will approach a girl and say, so last night did you finish your mathematics assignment? but the C student, I mean, the guy knows what he wants, man. When he comes, he's straight to the point. He's straight to the point. You know, when the lecturer is teaching, I'm seeing you on the board, I see nothing else. You know, that's the kind of guy that will come and tell you, you know what? I'm probably not the kind of guy that you may have a crush on, but I'm probably the guy that you'll end up with. You've got to think differently. Because you see people sometimes get a loan of 500,000 from a bank, and all they do with the loan is that they go buy a land somewhere, maybe a quarter or an eighth of an acre, and wait for it to appreciate. Maybe they buy it for 500,000. They wait for it to appreciate. Maybe for 3 years it will be maybe 1.5. I mean, if I was you, I would have done something different. That's a wastage of time, according to me. Because I could get that money and go register to the current golf club. I'll be higher than you. You know why? Some people ask you why. You know why? Because at that current golf club, I'm playing with the high and mighty. Do you understand? And there's no protocol. We relate as buddies. The CEOs, the ambassadors, we are relating as buddies. There is no protocol over there. Maybe the CEO of Safaricom, Bob Collymore, is there and he wants to play. And, you know, maybe his buddies are not yet here. And he's looking, who should I play with? Yeah, man, you can play. Come. You know, we're just playing. While we're playing, we're talking. I know the tenders, the biggest tenders that are in the country at that time. You know, we are relating at a different level. Do you understand? And before 3 years, I mean, I'll be higher than somebody who's waiting for 1.5. You know, after 3 years, they make $1 million. They think they're so smart. No, you're not. You're not. You could have done something different. It's Romans 10:10. Now, this scripture says that with the heart, man believes unto righteousness, but with the mouth, confession is made unto salvation. You've got to be careful of your mouth, what you say. You see, the Bible says in Matthew 27 something. I don't remember the verse well. But it says, by thy words thou shalt be condemned, and by thy words thou shalt be justified. By thy words. It says that with the heart man believes unto righteousness, but with the mouth confession is made unto righteousness. Let me just break it down to you. It means that with your heart you believe and you're made right with God. But with the mouth, confession, proclamation is made unto salvation. That means that with your mouth you catapult yourself into salvation. Do you understand? You catapult yourself there. And it's a general, it's a universal law. With your mouth you catapult yourself. What do you want? What kind of salvation do you want? Is it financial salvation? With your mouth, catapult yourself. And because you see, you've got to understand that kings don't speak English. Kings speak Kinglish. We speak English as kings. And I believe also queens don't speak English. They speak Queenglish. That if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all that you scheme and dream is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, and lose all your terror for the opposition for it, if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope and confidence, and stamp tenacity, if neither cold, poverty, famine nor gout, sickness nor pain, of body or brain can keep you from that thing that you want, if dogged and green you beseech and beset it, with the help of God, you will get it. My name is Alex Dunamis. I'm that king that you hear about. Fresher than the fresh prince of Bel-Air. There's never been one before me. There'll never be one after me. So that makes me the one and only. And this has been the shout of a king. Thank you.